Judge Scalia suggested that attorneys take a page out of the book from their death penalty colleagues and advise don't wait to think about sentencing advocacy because 99% of one's federal criminal clients will be facing sentencing. And so start preparing for the case as early as you can. I know all of you who are tuning in know someone or personally going through this experience today. No one can promise you and say that, I know the judge, don't worry. There's no rush to prepare. You've heard that the feds were asking questions, but still you're told there's no rush. The stages are, you may hear that there's rumors that the FBI and the Department of Justice have been asking questions. You may have gotten a target letter or someone showed up at your home. You're the feds. What you can do is different than what your attorneys can do. The nuances of everything that goes into a federal criminal defense is not just on the legal side, because the judge knows nothing about you, your attorney knows nothing about you. So it starts with a well-written personal narrative. This is your story or your autobiography or your brand. Wheaties has Breakfast of Champions. But why do you want to write your personal narrative? Because the Department of Justice has gifted you and printed their story of you. It's called your indictment, where you appear as America's most wanted, and it's likely not that flattering. The pre-sentence interview and investigation process. Your personal narrative, you need to prepare well written. It'll take a couple months. Getting all your files to your attorney, and then from your attorney to the probation officer about a week before your interview, comprehensive and organized, it may be appreciated because they will then have the time to fill out their probation report worksheet. And then when they meet with you at the interview, they can personally get to know who you are and ask any remaining questions that you may have. That's because many reasons. For the first is that your probation officer is allowed to make your sentence and placement recommendation to the judge before you ever get there. Second is that your judge is going to read your pre-sentence report before you go into court. So they'll probably already have a sentence in mind. If you don't have a personal narrative woven into and attached to your pre-sentence report, then all the judge is going to read is your pre-sentence report and your indictment. And good luck with that. And they're going to be ready for someone who's, appears to be a career criminal. My name is Dr. Marc Blatstein. While no one can give you any guarantees, preparation can humanize you to your judge and reduce the fears that you and your family and loved ones are naturally experiencing. If you have any questions regarding the federal sentencing or just in general, give me a call at no charge, 240-888-7778. Of your probation officer and their sway with the court. Welcome to my video series, Indicted and Facing Prison, Now What? My name is Marc Blatstein, and I understand firsthand how surreal and overwhelming this experience can be. 2006, I was convicted of a felony and I lost my medical license. I was grateful in 2010 to have it reinstated in full. And that's the reason that I transitioned from patient care to provide you with the crucial information every day so that you can navigate these challenges with knowledge and preparation, because with those two builds confidence. And having confidence will make you a better partner with your legal team as you fight for your innocence or before you go to sentencing. The Department of Justice and the feds have been asking questions, and if you've been hearing rumors, their case is mostly complete, and they have a 98% conviction rate. So the odds are not in your favor. And with knowledge is power, and I'm trying to put this in your hands because delaying your next step could have severe consequences. Understanding that you can elect to go to trial, but 0.2% win. So for most, there's some amount of time spent in prison. Your future's at stake, which is why it's critical to hire a legal team with a proven track record of successfully defending cases like yours. You just don't want to depend on and settle for experience. Choose a legal team that you feel is a good fit for you to help you achieve the best possible outcome. Making the right choices today will allow you to move forward with confidence tomorrow. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to give me a call. Consider engaging my services. My phone is 240-888-7778. This is your life. It's your future. The probation officer who conducts your pre-sentence interview is going to be the most important person in your life. Why is that? It's because judges listen to their recommendations, and they recommend the length of your sentence, as well as they can suggest a specific prison placement. They will conduct your pre-sentence interview and then do an investigation So please be aware that you need to be prepared and organized before you meet with them. How? You're going to be asked to provide a lot of information, and it needs to be comprehensive, accurate, and free of spelling errors. And you want to present it to the probation officer 1 to 2 weeks before you meet with them. And there's a reason for that. But it's good. This is going to include copies of all your biographical and personal identification information, your birth certificate, baptismal certificate, car registration, departments of welfare records, if there are any, details about any addictions or to substances within the 12 months prior to your arrest. This is critical if you want to get into the drug program called RDAP. This includes drugs. They can be legal or illegal, over the counter, alcohol, sex crimes, and quite frankly, even gambling. It's not listed as such in the BO for the BOP, but they're called medical diagnosis and treatment codes. And gambling abuse, or someone who has a gambling addiction, and these are all come under the addiction umbrella, is one of them. All relevant documentation must be included in your pre-sentence report. Important. If you started treatment on your own before the charge, before your pre-sentence interview, that is great, but you need to have documented proof. You need a letter of verification. Detainers, they need to be resolved, because if they're not, there's a detainer for you in another state that's going to increase your security level and make your life more miserable. A divorce decree, draft registration card, employment stubs, verification stubs, immigration papers, passports, income tax records for at least the last 3 years, but it's whatever the probation officer wants. Marriage certificate, medical records. If you have a medical file, or you're taking medications, or you've had surgery, please pay attention to the following. All of your surgeries, all of the pathology results, and all blood tests you need to have copies of. You need to have copies of the x-ray reports, MRI, CT scans, ultrasounds, PET scans, EEGs, EKGs, and it'd be helpful if you get them on CD or flash drives. If you have prescriptions for medications and medical devices, these need to be documented you need to get the documentation from your medical doctor's office. If you're on a medication, you need to make sure that it's available on the Federal Bureau of Prisons formulary. Military disability information, military discharge certificate, naturalization papers, professional papers. If you have any certificates or licenses, proof of rent of residence, rent receipts, property, mortgage papers, etc., school diplomas, your social security card. You need those school diplomas. I don't care if you're a rocket scientist or if you're a PhD physicist. If you don't have any copies of your diplomas from graduate school, rocket science school, if you don't have those and you don't have a copy of your high school diploma, you're going to be made to take the GED. Don't do that. Social security card, copy of that too. If you're already at this point and don't have the time to wait for any of my future videos, give me a call. We can discuss your situation one-on-one. Again, my phone number is 240-888-7778. While not required, these are strongly encouraged, as judges want to get to know you and why you committed your crime. Your release plan. It seems a little premature, and I've had several videos on that, but it's critical because the judge is going to ask you what your plan is. Maybe not in so many words, but to not come back to their courtroom again. They don't want to see you again. Your personal narrative is your autobiography. Why is this important? Right now, the Department of Justice has really done your job for you. They have told the entire world on the World Wide Web, they've written your autobiography for you, and it's been in the form of your indictment, and it probably is not that flattering. You need to write your own personal narrative where you've accepted responsibility, have remorse for the victims you've harmed, and you would want to get character letters. These are letters regarding your character. Um, People that have known you for a long time, that they're aware that you're facing federal criminal charges, that it's so out of character for you. If it's someone who's willing to hire you when you come out of prison, now if they're willing to put this into a letter, that's great. It doesn't mean that the position is going to definitely be there when you get released, because business climates change. But those character letters are what the judge and the halfway house and your case manager in prison want to see. It's best to provide all your information to the court officer, who is your probation officer, at least a week before your meeting, and it's been organized and completed. Why? Probation officers are overworked, have no time, and most will actually appreciate you providing everything that they asked for, but in a timely fashion, so that they have the time to fill out their pre-sentence report worksheet before they ever meet you. And then at the meeting, you came in prepared, so that they know that you're taking this seriously, and they can now have the time to personally get to know who you are and ask any remaining questions
that they may have. And guess what? They may come away from the meeting thinking that you're not the person in that indictment. To engage my services or to have your concerns answered, give me a call today, 240-888-7778. This is my cell phone, and I personally answer and return all calls. You can also get information in much more detail on my website, which is located at, just type in pprsus.com. P as in Paul, P as in Paul, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, US.com. I appreciate you taking the time to listen and have a great day.